Wendy Wilson Billiot.
I am Seth Billiot. I'm 14 years old, and we're currently in Chauvin, Louisiana, and Wendy Wilson Billiot is my mother, and I will be interviewing her today. How did you meet your spouse?
I met my spouse while working in the oil field. The first day I showed up at the drilling dock where he was running a boat from, he was standing at the office with another dispatcher. He asked that guy, "Hey, who's that chick with the blonde hair?" After I met Captain Russell, I went to work on crew boats with him, which are big boats that go in the Gulf of Mexico. So I fell in love with the water and the boats. But we married, and we sort of changed our standard of living down a little bit so that I could be a stay-at-home mom. We have 5 children, ranging in age from 28 to 14, and I homeschooled all of them to one degree or another. And one of those children is our 17-year-old son with Down syndrome. In 2005 is when we got my husband's diagnosis. They wouldn't renew his Coast Guard license because he has early onset Alzheimer's. And then he lost his job, and now he's considered disabled. And so we kept it really quiet, but I knew then that one day I would be supporting the family. And because we lived down the bayou, I wanted to try to make a living staying right where I was at. But it's interesting that I can look back at my life and I could see how everything led me right to here.
What kind of businesses do you own and run?
I own and operate Wetland Tour and Guide Service, and I own Camp DuLarge, which is a nightly fishing camp rental.
How did the oil spill affect your businesses and how they run day to day?
Right off the bat, I think the nation just assumed that the whole Gulf Coast was covered in oil. So instantly the wetland tours dropped to 0 because they're thinking, well, we can't go out in the oil. Then secondly, in the camp, I already had bookings for April, May, and June for all the fishing rodeos that were coming up. And 2 or 3 days into the oil spill, all the fishing rodeo associations did a knee-jerk reaction, and everybody canceled. And I had to return all their deposits. In spite of the detriment and the damage caused by the oil spill, in spite of the worry about how far-reaching the effects of the dispersants might be, what it's made me do is want to take people out even more to see the beauty here. And I guess something else that I've realized is how precarious our lives are here on the Gulf Coast. And that means we have to look at what we have. We have to appreciate what we have. We have to respect the bounty. We have to conserve it, all the while enjoying it. Because something like a failed blowout preventer could change all of that in an instant. Poof, it could just be gone.